everyone, welcome to another video. I am back with a video this week after not posting for about 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, so I guess this is like an explanation as to what happened with my videos and my drawings for the rest of Inktober, because if you were still keeping up with those, I basically just stopped posting altogether. And the reason for that is I was kind of already stating in some of the videos that I was feeling tired and it was just getting worse. So I decided to actually just stop, like not draw anymore, because for me art is like a stress reliever, and the way that it was going was it was becoming a source of stress. So I decided to just stop, and then I guess also save some of that energy that I had left for this piece, which is for the YouTube Artist Collective this time around. And the theme is actually Grimm's fairy tales. So we had to choose at least one fairy tale written by the Grimm brothers and obviously create some art around it or inspired by it. And I ended up choosing the 12 Dancing Princesses, or also known as the Worn Out Dancing Shoes, or the shoes that were danced to pieces, although this piece focuses more on the princesses rather than the shoes. So the reason why I ended up choosing the story was basically because I had no other options aside from the ones that are pretty popular because of a Disney adaptation. So I found out about this story because I downloaded like a collection of the fairy tales through iBooks. Like, it was a free book. So I downloaded it. I was thinking that I'd read all of the stories, like it would be a fun read, that kind of thing, but I only ended up reading this one. So I guess it kind of came in handy, because when this theme came up, it wasn't so hard to choose because I didn't have like an overwhelming amount of choices to begin with. So yeah, the challenge for me with this one was pretty much drawing the 12 girls in one page. That's something that I've never done before. Like, I already struggle with drawing more than 3 people on the same page, like especially trying to make them look like they're interacting and that they all belong together in a piece or like within a context. So having to draw 12 people was definitely a challenge. So to keep everything else fairly within my comfort zone, I decided for a simple color palette, which is this almost monochromatic look. There's just hints of yellow in there to add a little bit of interest. So that's what I ended up doing, and I do really like how this one turned out. It's pretty much just a scene from the original story where the princesses are sneaking out in the middle of the night and they're walking through this forest where they will meet 12 princes, and they will ride like a boat across a river and then arrive at a castle where there's a ball happening every night, which is odd. But yeah, so it was a pretty light read in my opinion. Like, nothing was grotesque about it. I mean, we all know that there are definitely some dark fairy tales out there, so this was definitely on the lighter side, which I quite like. But originally I wanted to draw something dark, especially when I found out that this was the theme this time around. But with the time that I had, just how poorly organized I was, I didn't have time to read up on more grotesque and dark fairy tales, so this is why I ended up with this. But the reason why I wanted to draw something dark was because I thought it was going to be a challenge for me. But obviously, this on its own was already a challenge with drawing the 12 different girls. And also, like, the sketching part of this was quite an experience. Like, I took photos of myself doing different poses, and then I also searched up reference photos of like ballerinas because I wanted them to be graceful, although I don't know if I managed to draw them as gracefully as I would have wanted them to be. But yeah, so that's what I did. I drew those poses on separate pieces of paper, and then I placed them onto Photoshop, where I ended up playing around with the placement of the girls. So I'll insert some clips to show you what I mean, because I did kind of just shoot some of the behind the scenes of what happened before the coloring of this artwork. And the process of this one was a lot longer than normal because, like I said, Inktober definitely just drained the energy out of me. Like, I honestly did not want to draw. I was so lazy, but this had a deadline. And so I had to pretty much force myself and sit myself down to draw this. And like I said, it took way longer than normal because usually, like, my finished pieces like this, the coloring process I do all in one go. But with this one, I had to kind of stop and then continue the next day, and then stop and then continue the next day again until it was finished, because of a few reasons. One was because I was just not in the mood at all, and I'd kind of just be prioritizing sleep over this piece. So yeah. And then another reason was because, as you saw before, I started painting the background first, and there weren't any details yet of the girls. So I was pretty skeptical whether or not it was going to work. So yeah, I guess I just decided to stop because I, one, didn't really want to continue. I also felt like scrapping the whole thing and then starting again, but I knew that I didn't have time, so I guess my other option was to just stop, or to take a break, like pause, and come back to it like with fresh eyes in the morning, and then see where it goes, like if I decide to throw it away or if I decide to continue with it. And obviously I continued with it, and I'm pretty happy that I did, because I do like how this one turned out, like I said. And yeah, so even if it took way longer than normal, I'm still really happy that I managed to actually complete this on time, and that it's also fairly decent. And yeah, also, I'm sure you guys already know about the other artists, but in case you don't know about them yet, I will link their channels in the description box. But definitely make sure to check out all the other artworks. I've seen some sneak peeks of them in the YouTube Artist Collective group chat, and they look amazing, so definitely check them out. Also, we have the YouTube Artist Collective 2018 calendar going up for sale between now, as you're watching this video, to the 15th of December. So it is only for a limited time, and if you want to get your hands on one, then there is also a link in the description box of where you can purchase that. So it consists of different artworks or different prints of the artworks, some of the artworks that were created by some of the YouTube Artist Collective members or artists. And yeah, once again, make sure to check those links out in the description box to support your favorite artists here on the YouTube Artist Collective. And just before I end this video, I do want to give a quick shout out to my patrons for the month of October. So a massive thanks to Alice Backstrom, Nathaniel Randolph, Jack Lee Rodriguez, Grace Bartlett, Zoe Paul, Amanda Bengson, Shyla Bailey, Janet Nguyen, Caroline Scarborough, Brittany Laycock, Brittany Peters, Sandra Saladiakanda, JNZH, I'm so sorry, Mimi Abraha, Carolyn Teo, Mariana Gomez Polimeno, Sarah McLaughlin, Brittany Drago, and Christina Meneses. So yeah, those are my patrons, and if you guys are watching, thank you so much for continuing your support on that platform. And yeah, so I guess that is it, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you also like the artwork for this time around for the YouTube Artist Collective. So if you enjoyed this, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to share this video as well if you would like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.